Thank you for listening. If you want to know more about us and our services, please visit our website at www.wsk9co.com.
So today we're going to talk about respect, and I had a situation actually this Sunday in a lesson about I've really had to disconnect this owner from her dog, and it's been really hard for her because she just feels like she needs to constantly be giving this dog everything, but yet she wants respect. She wants, the dog to listen to her. And so my challenge, my homework for her this weekend or this last week prior to me meeting was you cannot have any relationship with your dog. And you have to disconnect, and the only thing that your job is to feed and to water and to make sure that the dog gets outside to go to the bathroom. That's it. So that the dog finally starts asking this owner, what can I do for you? And so she perceived this look. This dog came up to her and she said, this dog looked at me like, why am I doing this? And it was so sad, and I felt so bad that I wasn't able to give her any affection. And I said, that look is a look of respect and a look of, what can I do for you to get that affection? It wasn't, I feel bad, and why are you not giving me what you normally give to me? So it's definitely, it's definitely kind of a missed thing when dogs are being respectful and owners perceive it as a sad thing. And so again, I had to continue to, now you have I'm adding on to this job is I expect you to have this dog attached to you. And the only thing that this dog is allowed to do is to lay down at your feet. And you still can't give it a lot of affection. You feed it, you water it, and so, because the dog is almost perfect for her husband and just completely is a bully, rude, obnoxious, biting her. And so it really have to change that dynamics to get the respect that she should be getting. So respect is kind of I think it's looked at, we look at respect as I want to be alpha, or, I'm the dominant one, versus a respect is the dog living with you and having manners and going into the groove. So, Michelle, what's your take on respect, of having a dog respect you?
It was funny. I was actually just going to say what you were saying, is that I think a lot of people take that as a dominant stance. And I think we have to respect our dogs just as much as they have to respect us. It's a mutual thing, just like in any business relationship, in any relationship. My marriage wouldn't work if I didn't respect my husband and he didn't respect me.
Right.
But it just was making me think of Rambo, like when he was little, and how he was telling us we weren't respecting him in his space. And he was lashing out because of that. And we had to learn, he had to learn to trust us and that we were going to take care of him. But we also had to learn to respect his limits and his boundaries, and that he didn't like being picked up by crazy, strange people all the time. Right. And he didn't want to be carried around even though he only weighed 5 pounds. And so it's a mutual respect.
Yeah, I agree. Melissa?
That's exactly what I was thinking, the mutual respect. You're partners with your dog, and if you smother them or kind of don't give them the credit they deserve and thinking that they can't do things on their own and they don't have a brain, that really is negative to the relationship. But by trusting them and giving them, your trust, they will do the same for you, and then in turn there will be respect. Of course there needs to be boundaries in that, but I think with the boundaries and with the trust, the respect comes.
Yeah, I agree, and I think that the respect comes through productive training and giving them the credit that they can do something. We don't have to do it all for them. Shannon, what's your take on respect?
I'm curious what you guys think about the fact that a lot of times there is a disparity in respect between members of the same family. And yours was an example of that, where one person has all the respect and the other person has none, and there's varying levels. So why do you guys think that there's such different levels of respect with a dog within the same family?
Oh, that's a good question. Well, I think one is a personality thing. I think two, it is having the wrong dog in the wrong home. That it's a clash of personalities, and it's kind of comes back to Michelle. Like, for example, this situation, I think it's a false sense of what relationship she wants to have with her dog, and what the relationship that the dog needs to have with her. And so I think just like in every family, when you have, kids playing into the mix, all of the kids don't necessarily get along with each other. And so, and there's definitely a respect issue within a family with kids. And so, this family is just a husband and wife right now. And I tell her all the time, wait till you have kids. And so I think that it's more about a personality thing and us being honest about who we are. And I think our dogs call us out on the garbage. Michelle?
I think when it comes down to it, dogs are still dogs too. And we as humans sometimes don't treat them as dogs. And so there is a disrespect there that we're not communicating the way that they communicate. So I don't know the situation there and stuff. But
Sure.
with Rambo, like I really did, like, knowing now what I know, like we were treating him like a child. We were treating him like a baby, like a human, and like he should have the same emotions that we have. And it wasn't even that. I was putting like other dogs' emotions on him that weren't his. Like I was like, oh, you're not a normal Papillon. Why are you acting like this? Instead of getting the right dog in the right house, which I think Rambo is in the right house now. Yeah. But at first, I mean, it wasn't that he wasn't in the right house at first. We just didn't know how to communicate and have respect for each other at that time. But I think a lot of it comes down to your dog is still a dog no matter what is going on.
Yeah.
And we need to respect them like a dog.
Right. Melissa?
Yeah, I think, too, people kind of have a negative connotation to respect, and they think that respect is too formal. And like, oh, I want my dog to love me. They don't need to just respect me, but I want them to love me like their mom or whatever. But that's just not the way it is. And by a dog respecting you, that is really good for the dog. That's their kind of love for you is by respecting you. And that without the respect piece, then it's just a bully. Or it can lead you to just a negative relationship.
I think that
makes sense, but there's a fine balance between your dog as a family member, but they're still a dog, and respect is crucial. Like thinking about a pack relationship and bringing that to the family relationship.
I think that's a really strong point there is that to me, I think I interchange respect and love across the board, even with human beings, because, I expect that my own child respects me, and I'll call her out on it at times. And it's the same with the dogs. And so it's important to, I think that respect is love. And if you don't respect somebody, you don't love them. And we don't love everybody, and we don't respect everybody, but we're not going to be a bully either to those that we don't respect. But I think that it's pretty interchangeable. Michelle?
Oh, I 100% agree.
Yeah.
That was good.
Okay. Shannon, do you have any other to add to that?
if you're looking at as a point where you separate the two, love and respect, I feel like your dog loves you more when you are in charge, and you take all the responsibility of the relationship and they don't have to worry about it, because that's when we see a lot of bad behaviors and disrespectful behaviors are popping out, because the dog thinks that they have to take the responsibility of making sure everyone's safe, or all of those things. And so if you take on that responsibility, then they don't have to. They're happier and they like to be with you more, which could love you better.
I think that's really true, because you're like just having this owner disconnect from this dog and stop all of her emotions, and you're just now the caregiver right now, that this dog started coming to her and saying, oh, what can I do for you? How can I get this? How can I love you, in a sense? I mean, the eyes were very soft, and I saw it in the lesson. She's like, yeah, just like that. She looks at me but yet she looked at me the same way, and they called it respect. But yet when she looks at the owner that way, she calls it feeling sorry or feeling sad. And it's the same look. And it was a very soft, very affectionate, connected, I'm going to lay at your feet look. And so we have to really be honest about what our dog is doing, and know how to respond appropriately, that our dogs don't have that feel sorry for me, I'm sad piece to them. Dogs are happy. Dogs love life. They're in the moment right there. So, and I think that's part of what we do, is we put things in the past and we're trying to make something work in the future, and it can't be forced at all. You can't force a dog to respect you. You have to respect it as the dog, and you have to respect that it needs training and it needs a leader. It doesn't need an alpha. It needs a leader, and that they need to, they need to have the opportunity, and they need to have purpose just like everybody else in the household does. Michelle, do you have anything else to add to that?
No, it was
Melissa?
good.
Yeah, I think one thing that you mentioned, that the whole alpha piece, and I think you don't have to be alpha to have their respect. And I think that's something that a lot of people get caught up in, and that I need to be the alpha to get their respect. But that can just create uncomfortable relationships with everyone, and just be your place in the family, and the pieces will fall together and your dog will have your respect, and vice versa.
I totally agree with you, Melissa. There's just no way everybody in the family can be alpha. It's just not possible, right?
No.
Like,
no.
I feel like I'm a lot more alpha than my husband is.
Yeah.
And that's okay. My dogs still love and respect him.
Right.
And that is mandatory in our house. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean he is ever alpha over them or
Right.
over me. Like,
Right.
and I'm not over him really, but when it comes to the dogs, it's just not possible for everybody. Your kids are not going to be alpha. Don't expect them to be. Don't ask them to be.
Right. Right. Yeah. Yeah. It's just, you have to be you, and you have to be honest in you and who you are, and acknowledge that, so that your dog can do the same. So I think that's very smart.
I just like to emphasize the importance of that your dog is not feeling sad when you are being in charge. For example, if you walk by the cabinet where your dog's cookies are, and the dog will want a cookie every time you walk by the cabinet, right? And when you don't give them one, they don't like go in their room and be like, oh, I so wanted that cookie. No, they just keep following you. They're like, okay, no cookies now, whatever. They just keep going by. They might pause there for a second with the hope that you might give them a cookie, but if you keep going, they're ultimately going to keep going, unless you've taught them that if they sit by the cabinet and scream that, like, you will go give them one, right? But they're not feeling sadness. They just say, okay, we're not doing that right now. So, don't feel bad. You don't feel sadness that you're behaving a certain way. Just that's the way it is, and everyone it has to accept it.
That is a very true point there. And dogs, I don't know. I haven't seen, I've seen dogs have, get depressed, and for me, I would define that as survival. And it's these sad commercials on TV, and it's the sad pictures of rescuing, and we really should celebrate things that they're in a happy place and that they've got somebody that's feeding them, and not play into that behavior, because they'll just continue to give that behavior to get the food. And it's, they really go into survival more than anything. So I think that's a good point, is we need to be who we are and be honest about who we are, and respect who they are, and they'll respect who we are if we don't put those funny emotions onto our dogs. And therefore, respect comes into that play, and that's how we get it. That's how we gain, is being honest and true to how we are and what we're going to do for the day, and they will respect that and move on with us. Okay. Have a great day and keep on training.
Thank you for listening. If you want to know more about us and our services, please visit our website at www.wsk9co.com. And as always, we urge you to get out and train.